was never one to wonder if the glass is half full or half empty. For me, I was just praying the fucking thing didn't break. There are so many things that can kill you. Smoking, for example. I worry about them all the time. I don't take steps to avoid them, but they occupy my every waking thought. I didn't worry about them before. I mean, what teenager does? I'm 17 years old. I shouldn't be obsessed with death. I should be obsessed with life. Going out at unreasonable times, smoking pot, getting a girlfriend, worrying about how my hair looks. But all I've been able to think about for 3 months now is how fragile life is. I'm jealous of those who are content with that, who don't crave more. More time, more everything. My mum died in a freak accident. That's what they summed it up as, a freak accident. 47 years of life ended in 3 seconds of bad luck. I see the world in statistics now. That's all we are, binary objects in an analogue system of risk. If you break it down to the formula, we're all statistics. Statistics are what religion is lacking. All religion is stories, and if you're lucky, a bit of singing. I was never very religious, but the guide from the funeral director said this is what my mum, whom he had never met except on the occasion of her deposit into the morgue, would have wanted. For me to carry on. That's what I tell myself I'm doing, but really I'm standing still. I'm stagnant. It is the world that is moving around me. People living and dying. People laughing and crying. People in love and people alone. I've become a secondary character in my own motion picture. The truth is, I don't know what she would have wanted. All I know is that I didn't want to move into some stranger's house and have their pitiful stares on me when I'm doing my utmost not to participate in life. Don't get me wrong, I'm thankful they took me in, but I fear they are doing it for their own moral gratification. I don't ever want to be anyone's gratification. All anyone sees when they look at me is a freshly made, homegrown orphan. So sad, they say, or what a pity, when what they are really feeling is, I felt bad for him, I'm such a great person. The day my mum died, I sat and watched the sunset, dipping below the office buildings and apartment complexes. I was numb with shock, but also with ambivalence, like I locked all emotion in a safe and threw it into a black hole. It made me start thinking about the sun itself, how the Earth is the perfect distance away. How if even one of the variables was off, no life would have evolved on this tiny misshapen rock falling through space. I started thinking about how no one else seemed to be bothered by this, by the sheer impossibility of our immediate surroundings. How we ignore the cosmic improbability of life by watching YouTube videos of fat Korean boys body popping. I started thinking about how improbable my own life has been up until this point. How my mum could have met a different guy at a different time and I wouldn't even exist. I wouldn't be able to have these thoughts I was having then, and that I'm having now. I wouldn't be able to feel the absence of grief, the void that was swallowing me up from the inside. My thoughts went on like that for hours, like the never-ending seizing ticking of a clock, moving anti-clockwise as I regressed from order back to chaos. Entropy comes for us all, and I knew that, but what I couldn't cope with was the fact it seemed to be happening to me whilst I was still alive. My thoughts were being pushed through a trash compactor at the speed of sound, moving so quickly it was impossible to hold on to them. My thoughts moved on the same tracks that they always did, but in a way that was entirely new. I did that a lot back then. I would walk around, wandering aimlessly, shoving myself through the lives of others with no regard for their inconvenience. Saw people laugh and I saw people cry. Saw people in love and I saw people desperately clinging on to their own independence. Saw people in complete control of everything and people breaking under the great big fuck we call life. All that time, I could still only think about this in terms of myself, like some kind of narcissistic philosopher. I sat in the same spots for hours, failing to participate in exactly the way I wanted to. You know when you procrastinate so hard you become really productive, but at doing something else? How you end up cleaning your room twice, fixing the hinge on your door that's been broken for 3 years, doing all the washing up. That's how I was living my life. For those 2 months I hardly slept. For the hours between 1 AM and 5 AM the world was mine to ignore. I paced around my room at night. I wrote parts of novels I'd never finish. I'd roll 50 cigarettes and arrange all of my books in alphabetical order and by genre. If I just kept busy, it would all be okay. If I just kept busy, it would all just go away. If I just kept busy, it would all fucking fade. But it didn't. I guess why I'm telling you all of this is that I need to know that someone in the world knows the precise nature of how I'm feeling. It's so hard to articulate the exact mix of emotions and lack thereof that I was feeling in that moment. I don't think anyone can ever truly know how another person is feeling. But if any of you understand, I guess writing this has been worthwhile, and I guess that means I have made some kind of impact. That I think I'll be able to start healing now. These past 2 months I've been in limbo. Maybe I can start to live again.
Put a penny on a railroad track for you to pick up on your way back. How can it be that you are gone to stay? In my dream last night, anything that you'd write would unravel and lift like a mist out of sight. But in my dream last night, I guess you seemed alright.